Boys, 5 years of the pod coming up, so it's time for a performance review.
You bloody betcha, Jake. It's been too long.
It's been too long. Who's the boss? Who's telling us what we're doing?
Well, we don't have bosses here at the MacPack. You are the only stakeholder listening.
Oh.
So we want to throw the thing open to you. We've made a Google form with a few questions in there.
It's anonymous.
It's completely anonymous. So whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, we'll work out after the first few come through. But it does mean no matter what you put in there, we'll never know who put anything in there. We want to hear your favourite things about the pod, your least favourite things about the pod, the things you want more of, the new ideas that you might have.
Yes.
It's all open for you guys.
Link in bio, link in show notes. Hit us up. We've been doing some radio down at Radio Fremantle. That's 107.9 FM. What you're about to hear is what we chatted about there on the weekend.
You can obviously join us live each and every Saturday between 8 to 10 a.m.
But don't worry, because if you missed the episode, you can listen right here in your podcast feed.
Enjoy!
Coming to you live from the studios in Fremantle. The Three Brothers.
I'm feeling fan-freaking-tastic.
Boys. Is this thing on?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Welcome to the best day of the week. It's Saturday.
TGIS.
Turn your radios on. Crank up that dial. Saturdays are for the bro. The weekend's here. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Fremantle 107.9.
Good morning and welcome to the MacPack on Radio Freo. Jake, Joe and Junior Boy in the studios to get your weekend underway. How are we, boys?
Boys, it's good to be back. It's good to be home. Joey, how are you feeling this beautiful Saturday?
Yes, it's a long weekend, so we're a little bit late to kicking off the weekend this week.
It feels weird.
That's true, yeah.
Should we have bumped forward to
Should we?
yesterday?
Should we?
Do you reckon we should have done the Good Friday set?
Anyway, we're here now. We're here to kick off this long weekend.
We are, and we were celebrating 1 year of the show
Happy
as
birthday.
well.
So exactly 52 weeks ago was our first show. Is that right, Jake?
Yeah, we sat down here sweating profusely, nervous out of our own minds. Joe's not even wearing pants at the moment. That's how comfortable he is after 1 year.
Love it.
It's a lot colder this time around than it's been throughout 2025. I think we've got 3 sets of hoodies in the studio, which is the first time we've seen that all year round. I'm still donning. That's the thing. I love a jumper over the top, but I'll still don the shorts and thongs down below. So
That's right.
The legs need to
You
breathe.
don't get cold below the hips. Boys, something happened last week, which I want to bring up again.
Oh,
That's
this
right.
sounds quite.
We're going back to the
tense.
back to the well, boys. I don't know if you remember, but to start off last week's show, what did I bring up? What was I talking about?
Your
couldn't
coffee
feel
order.
like
it.
It was your coffee order.
That's right. I went down to the local cafe
Oh, yes.
and I ordered something, and things went awry.
And on the drive in, went to the local coffee shop. I'll grab a flat white 1 sugar, please. Got the sugar.
Oh.
Can you
Not a good way
tell?
to
Sugar.
start.
And you can tell.
There's 4 words in that, and she's missed
2 of them.
2.
But I went back today to give him a second chance.
Yes, there was shot at redemption.
That's right, because they've only mucked up at that point once. And I was like,
Oh, no.
I've got to give him another
course.
go. And they've gone and done it, boys.
they've done it.
They're back. They heard. They must have listened last week, and they were very, very adamant that there was 1 sugar included in the coffee order.
There
He's
you
done
go.
it.
That's huge. Sally, did you forget sugar in the audio? They're live shaming you on radio at the moment.
Yeah, legit. I want to tell them to tune into Radio Freo so they can hear their weekly update on how I find that their order goes.
And how was the coffee?
Oh, beautiful, mate.
Lovely.
Beautiful. It's gone straight through me, Joey.
Of course.
Oh, it often does.
We're exiting during the next song.
Boys, we do have a big show on the cards today. The Whistle Game returns just after 9 o'clock. I'm hosting that one. It's one of my favourites that we do here at Radio Freo. But Junior Boy's gone on a bit of a run lately.
That's right.
He's-
I've got momentum, Jake.
He's
I've got
dominating.
everything behind me.
I think this is be a 6th streak.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something like that. I've lost count. There's that many.
It's nuts. I haven't seen this block lose in ages. The Whistle Game coming up just after 9 o'clock.
Huge.
But lads, we're also discussing superpowers and which superpower you would like to have. But up next, lads, iconic lines you use every day. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Freo. Chaperone with Red Wine Supernova. You're listening to the MacPack on Radio Freo 107.9. Now, lads, we are taking things off all the way. To begin proceedings today, we're going to take things over to the Oakland A's, the baseball team.
The big A-holes.
The old A-holes themselves. They have just picked up a brand new pitcher. I don't know if you guys have heard the news.
Oh, the new pitching wedge. Have they gone Titleist or Callaway?
They've got a new pitcher of water that they're going to use around the club room.
This is the guy that pings in the balls, the batters, the hay batters.
I thought you meant they've got some art on the wall in the change rooms or something.
Oh, clever pitcher.
There's multiple meanings
Yes,
of
it's
the
a
word.
slant rhyme. I like it.
Now, it's obviously quite exciting that the new pitcher is involved, right? But the kicker is... Do you know,
The kicker! I didn't know they had kickers in baseball.
do you know what his name is?
Of course not. I don't know that.
Jono.
Jason Alexander.
Oh!
That's right, Jason
Can't
Alexander.
stand ya.
The bloke who plays George in Seinfeld. However, this character is not the actual character. This is just a normal Jason Alexander. Could you imagine the 60-year-old Jason Alexander stepping out for the Oakland A's?
Well, honestly, as a pitcher,
Or as a kicker.
as a baseball player,
That's a kicker.
they
in
do
general.
sometimes look like that.
They're little stubby good blokes.
They've got all builds. Yeah.
yeah.
The boy, the commentary team, boys, has gone absolutely off it as a result of this new pitcher being named Jason Alexander. Have a listen to a little grab from the commentary from Monday's game.
Right-hander George Costanza on the pitch for the A's. It's really Jason Alexander. Francisco Lindor, the batter.
When I listen to things like that, it makes me feel good about how we're going. Was that himself like cleaning up his joke? After
No,
he
that
said
was
it?
the other guy.
Explaining.
That's Joe walking in and going, here's George Costanza, and then me correcting and going, it's Jason Alexander.
Oh, so that was an accident. He accidentally called him his
No, I think he was
fictional name.
He was doing a
joke.
gag.
Oh,
And then the other guy was saying,
nope.
we're doing the baseball.
They need to learn the whole yes and
Yes.
technique.
So it's an interesting one in the sense that we've got like a normal person who inhibits a famous person's name, and he would have to carry that around with a badge.
And it's
Yeah.
also interesting because it's like,
Uh-oh.
if they're born before or after they become
Yeah, true.
famous.
That's very true. Because you could live a life of anonymity
Yeah.
until that person becomes famous. But the thing I want to point out to you boys, and you've both missed it there, is listen again, but listen to after the commentary. Listen to the man in the crowd.
Right-hander George Costanza on the pitch for the A's. It's really Jason Alexander.
Now,
Francisco Lindor, the batter.
he's lobbed in a Serenity Now as Jason Alexander has gone to pitch the ball, the absolute superstar. So not only does that bloke have to live with having a name of a famous person, but he also has to live with so many iconic lines from Seinfeld, in particular George, one of the most...
Quotable characters of the show.
Yeah, and one of the most negative characters in the show. Like he's quite
nothing goes his way.
he's
wanna
quite
go-
a Scrooge.
I'm going to go into detail, boys, but there's probably another main character in Seinfeld that you wouldn't want to be named after.
So the question that we're going to ask today is iconic lines used in everyday life, because this bloke will just be getting Serenity Now yelled at him through the streets and all other sorts of chaos he would see in his everyday life. So get in contact with us. Iconic lines in everyday life. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. The Gorillas with Dare. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free over 107.9. You got Jake, Joe, and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. And fellas, we're currently chatting about iconic lines that are used in everyday life after there was an Oakland A's pitcher during the week by the name of Jason Alexander, which is the birth name of the bloke who plays George from Seinfeld. And this is how the commentary team went about explaining that.
Boys, exciting week. Woody have come on board and they've given us a 15% discount code.
But not for
Not for
us.
us, for the
you.
fans.
Oh, come on, Joe. Switch on. We had this written down for months. For you.
For you.
So if you jump on our link tree quick on the very top bit, and there, my friends, is a link for 15% off an Woody.
Wow.
15% off.
That's, I believe it's
already the low price.
I believe it is the only way that you can get 15% off via us. There's no code.
Yeah.
You just go to the link, click the link, you get 15% off an Woody. Imagine you sitting down. It's the middle of winter. Things are a little bit brisk. What is you need? Fuck the jumper. Throw an Woody on. Do you know what's exciting about an Woody?
What?
Being completely naked underneath.
Yeah, you don't need to wear pants. You genuinely don't need to wear anything.
That's so exciting.
I once went to a funeral just with an hoodie on. Joe's graduation service at uni. Hoodie. Yeah, that was it.
What to wear when you're told not to wear a thing?
Go grab yourself an hoodie for 15% off because, look, you're going to buy one anyway. You might as well take a discount. Yeah. Support us. Support hoodie. And most importantly, be free from the waist down.
Right-hander George Costanza on the pitch for the DAs. It's really Jason Alexander. Francisco Lindor, the batter.
And we're specifically discussing the Serenity Now
Heckle from the crowd.
that came from the crowd. And I imagine that is the first, but certainly not the last time we'll hear that throughout the season. And I'm sure for that young individual, it's probably the 1,000th time he's heard that over the journey of his life. So we are asking the question, iconic lines that he used in everyday life.
That's so good.
I think movie line's got to be the go-to.
Yep.
One I like is if someone asks, like,
Here we go.
you need the truth or something like that, and you got to hit them with a, you can't handle the truth.
How often would you be running with that one, Joey?
Well, it's not a common one, but when you do get the chance to really sell it, just as Jack does in the film.
Jackie boy.
An opportunity you can't refuse.
Of course, yeah, exactly. You got to give them an offer they can't refuse.
One of my favorites, and I think most families could probably relate to, like, you know, they have their own ones among the internal fan.
Bikes will fall.
Bikes will fall is a good one. Obviously, we're three brothers, so we've had the opportunity to share parents. And one classic one that gets a run in our household is, go on a Gatsby!
That's not from the movie,
That's
though.
not from the movie. That's
No, of
just,
course not. That's why I was saying
it's
just
a
before.
go on a
So sometimes people say stuff within their family.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's
I
a
can't,
line. It's
Go
an
on a
iconic line.
Gatsby.
I can't quite. I can't
What is
remember.
going to Gatsby about?
I think one of our parents wanted to, I can't remember which one. I think one of them wanted to see Gatsby. One of them didn't want to see
Yeah.
Gatsby. It became a bit of a
Talking point to say that.
and then I think as the door, I think that line was followed by a door slamming
yeah.
as they made
Go on a Gatsby.
their way to Gatsby.
There you go.
Another one that
The
our
Great Gatsby, the movie, right?
yeah. Where else? What do you mean? They're going back to 1960. Or
Yeah,
something.
going to the 20s.
Another one that gets used in our house a fair amount. It is a friend's quote, and often, whether or not it is relevant, Mum seems to love just yelling out.
Pivot! Pivot! Yeah, I've been hearing that one. Pivot! That's like...
Anytime.
Oh, yeah. You started then.
No, you were going for a run.
Yeah, and then you cut me off. You pivoted my conversation. I've been moving some furniture with my girlfriend.
Nice.
A lot of pivot chat going
I
on.
bet.
Every time you lift up anything, Pivot has to get a run.
Yeah. It is funny that that's such a small scene in the show when obviously Joey and Ross are moving a couch.
Yeah.
Like, they're not thinking, oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
This is what people will remember.
Yeah, exactly right.
Schwimmer went off with that.
Yeah,
All
Schwimmer
he
was
saw on a piece of paper was Pivot ! And he gave that the life it
gave it his
deserved.
all.
To that point, he didn't really have a line, so I think he's got, I need one. This is quite late in the stage. I need to go with one here. I need a line. If it's going to be Pivot, if I'm going to the grave, I'm going to the grave with Pivot.
I do feel catchphrases in films, TV shows, they're sort of going out of fashion. There aren't as many modern characters who have like a catchphrase, you know? Like a eat my shorts.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
true.
caramba.
Nice.
What catchphrase do you live by?
My catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's got to be going to Gatsby.
Can't beat the classics.
You are listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Freo. The Whistle Game coming up just after 9 o'clock. Thank you, Cheryl. All I want to do is have some fun. You're doing exactly that here on the Mac Pack on Radio Freo.
Very nice.
That's right, boys.
0.9.
It's Saturday morning, and we're talking a brand new headline coming out of Perth News.
Oh my God, it's a local.
Shoalwater man, 41, charged over bizarre stunt dangling over Kwinana Freeway in Como, dressed as Spiderman. That's right, boys. Wild images of the 41-year-old man emerged this Thursday afternoon, showing the costume crusader hanging from the Como Bridge with a metal chain and harness. Joe, did you see it?
I did not.
You didn't drive past to see the
No.
great man?
My spidey senses weren't tingling. That
Who's
this
to
was
say
going
it
to be
wasn't
going down.
the real one?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying here, boys.
So heroic.
We're going to get into it soon. One photo showed the masked man casually holding his phone as he looked out at the hundreds of cars crawling below the freeway.
You got to get a
near South
selfie.
Terrace.
If you've
That's
gone
right.
through all the effort of getting up there, you got to grab a selfie.
You may as well. You're bloody the star of the show. You're the reason there's a traffic jam. You've got to get a photo of you and all of Perth tooting at you. WA Police, St John, WA, and the Department of Fire and Emergency Services
Big three.
were called to the scene and closed the freeway.
Ooh.
Obviously causing some traffic in the peak hour chaos.
That is not what a hero is meant to do.
No.
Inconvenience the lives of everyone.
I guess the real heroes were the ones that
yeah, funny
fixed
that.
the traffic.
Wow, Joe,
Wow.
that's chill.
And none of them were seen hanging from a bridge.
No.
So there you go. Goes to show.
And they ended up using a cherry picker to remove him from his pose.
Oh, but the cherry's up there as well.
So he was stuck, or that was what he was going for?
No, that's what he was going for.
Okay,
He was
yep.
like hanging, like Spider-Man would.
Yeah,
He
does
wasn't upside
though?
down, though. I wish he was upside down.
He
That would be
doesn't
more
hang.
Yeah, he swings.
He swings.
He swings.
If you ever see-
from one point to another.
If you ever see Spider-Man hanging, it's
Yeah.
a very sad day, usually followed by potentially a funeral.
The climax of No Way Home wasn't just the three of them hanging around chatting.
The man was assessed by St John WA before being arrested and taken to a local police station.
Oh.
The 40-year-old one from Shoalwater has been charged with endangering life, health, and
His own?
health or safety, and is due to face Perth Magistrate. Whoa, that's a bit of a mouthful. Perth Magistrates Court on May 9th.
There you go.
But boys, doesn't this all sound a bit familiar to you? No one liked.
Did you do this?
No one liked Spider-Man when he first started fighting crime in comic books, didn't he? People even called him a menace.
Spider-Man, a psychopath wielding powers he has no right to possess, trying to pass himself off as a hero. Well, let me tell you something, kid. You're no hero. You are a criminal, a miscreant, a masked marauder, a menace.
So, boys, I'm backing him in. I'm backing this
This
bloke
could
in.
be
you're
it.
going
I reckon this is
anti.
it. I reckon
Buy
this
stock
is
early.
We're asking the question on 047 30 30 88 what superpower would you like to have? Because I reckon we could build a bit of an Avengers here in Perth.
Ooh.
Yeah, we could all hang from a bridge.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Starting from our one and only Spider-Man we have at the moment.
You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. Good neighbours with Ripples. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. The Whistle Game coming up just after 9 o'clock, but we're currently asking, what superpower do you wish you had?
That's right, boys. After a 41-year-old Shoalwater man was arrested this week for
Hanging tan.
hanging 10. That's legit. He was just hanging from a bridge in the freeway.
But he was dressed as Spidey Man.
That's right, Spider-Man himself. And we want to build our little Avengers team right here on the Mac Pack.
You want to pick Captain Per?
So we asked on the text line, what does that mean?
Not Captain America.
Yeah.
Captain Subiaco.
Yeah, if Perth had a...
Yeah, Captain
captain.
Perth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, isn't it Basil Zemplis?
Anyway, so we asked on the text line, you know, what superpower would you want to have? And boys, I got stormed with some responses.
You got stormtroopered.
I got stormed with some responses. Let's hear our text from the text line.
Oh. Sorry. I thought you were
Mine
going
is blowing up.
Sarah said, mind reading, but only when I choose because people are weird.
selective mind reading. Well, I guess you don't have to read everyone's mind.
That's fair.
Does she think it's just going to be like white noise? She'll
Yeah.
walk past someone and it's like a podcast is playing in the background.
Yeah.
Just someone like with really dark thoughts.
Really dark thoughts. I want the power to pause time so I can finally catch up on sleep, someone else said.
That's good.
That actually is pretty
What about
handy.
just the idea of not feeling tired to begin with?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like skip the whole...
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, skip still having to do the work
Nice.
and just be not tired.
Someone else said teleportation because Perth fuel price is a villain.
Oh, very
Teleportation would be like handy for sure.
Yeah.
But
It
not
would
just
save
for
you
the...
so much time.
if you're doing teleportation just for fuel prices, I feel like you're not really leaning into the full power.
yeah.
Like, they're only thinking about... I would think about going anywhere,
Airfare.
whenever.
Think about it, you don't even need a car. Car maintenance gone.
Yeah, legit. You'd save so much money. You don't need rego on
Yeah,
teleportation.
feels like the
Yeah,
cheapest
Rego,
part.
yeah.
Amy said she needs control of the weather because her washing's been on the line for 4 days. That is very relatable for me. Sometimes the washing just stays out there for the week.
Yeah.
It really just soaks in the atmosphere of what's
Yeah.
going on in Perth.
It ferments out there.
But boys, if you could be a hero, what superpower would you want to have?
It's a great question. Thanks for providing us some thinking music
Yes.
time.
Boys, what do you want? What superpower?
Go,
Well,
Joey.
Mine would have to be stop time.
Got time.
You could do anything. You could rob a bank. You could.
So everyone would pause except you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine would be flying. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it till I'm allowed to. Fly. I just think it would be so joyful. I don't need to listen to people's thoughts. I've got enough going on. I don't have the time to listen to what other people would care about.
What if flying was like running? Like you could do it, but it would wear you out.
I imagine it would, but I don't care. I think it's still sick. I still run. I don't run. I don't think I'm not going to run and be like, this is going to be
I actually
tiring.
never thought about that, Joe. Is flying for birds exhausting?
Nah, they glide.
They love
man.
it.
Or is it like they're walking or is it like they're jogging? Do they get gassed from flying? Do you reckon?
We should have one in.
They never look out of breath. You've never seen a bird at the end of its flight, and it's just hunched over
That's so true.
So I think you're just floating. You're gliding around up there.
I like it.
I'd love to do it. Maybe we could get this bloke on the line, this superhero dude.
Yeah, Mr. Shoalwater Man, Spiderman himself.
And see if he has any secrets as to how we could get up. Maybe this time next week we'll do a flying episode.
Yeah.
We'll be up
Yeah,
there.
we'll hang Joe from the bridge.
From the roof. You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free. The Cure with Close to Me. You're listening to the Mac Pack on Radio Free 107.9. Jake, Joe and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. Boys, being a Saturday today, I reckon this is the least Saturday shift it's ever felt like. I think because of that long weekend we've just landed on. I walked around all of yesterday thinking yesterday was Saturday.
Yeah, even our dearest mother loves listening to the radio on a Saturday. She was trying to listen yesterday morning. Goes,
Really?
where are they?
Seriously?
They're not on, yeah.
Did she actually tune in?
Or maybe she was saying on Thursday she tried to listen to the pod and it wasn't up because it comes out on a Friday.
Yeah.
It's doing people in. This long
The weeks are
weekend.
thrown into disarray.
Joey and I both have, we've taken a bit of an extended break from our occupations as well. So we are, by the time we go back, mate,
Days have no meaning.
is it November? We're into this.
Hell yeah. You boys looking forward to the break? What are you doing?
I'm going south.
Oh,
Joey
goes
down south.
The amount Joe goes down south, you would think he is a WSL surfer.
I'm not though.
No, just couldn't be further from it.
It's not. What are your activities going down?
We're going to the chestnut farm.
Oh, the chesty.
Yep, the chestnuts.
What happens at the chestnut farm?
They grow chestnuts and they feed them to pigs.
Chestnuts roasting on an open
They
fire.
are, they
Jack
are.
Frost nibbing at your nose.
Nipping at my nose. My nose is going to be nipped off.
Hell yeah.
Have you guys tried chestnuts?
No, never.
Me neither. I'll bring some up.
Hell yeah.
We could do
A live
Jake
chestnut.
tries.
A live
Jake tries a
taste
chestnut.
test.
I didn't even know what they
Are
look
they
like.
huge?
I think they are.
I've
To
only ever
me,
seen them
it's
animated.
I've never seen a squirrel eating it. So it's hard to judge the
Oh, is that what a
size.
chestnut is? Like the one, like the acorn?
No, that's an acorn.
Oh,
That's how they get you, right? Damn it. That's how they get you. We've got the whistle game coming up next. I whistle some tunes, you boys see if you can guess what they are. It's a themed edition because this is a whole year since we've been in the Radio Freo studios.
that's huge.
I won't tell you exactly what the theme is, but it is coming up next. Junior Boy is in a hot streak. Yeah. We need to see that end today, Joey. The pressure is on. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo. Post Malone and Morgan Wellham. I had some help. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo. Boys, time for the weekly game. And today we have the whistle game. Now, the
Hell
whistle
yeah.
game is pretty simple. I whistle a little tune, a little tune.
Yep, and we're going to guess what song it is,
You
eh?
boys have to guess what song it is. Riley leads the games 6-4-4. Me and Joe are heavily in the backstream.
Come on, boys.
Let's
Live.
see if Joe can pick it up today. Here we go.
Cause it's easy when he tells you the song. You don't know now, the game hasn't begun. You can feel it coming through his throat. Oh, whistle while we work it out. Oh, whistle while we work it out.
Let's do it, boys. Here we go.
Jake has just moistened up his lips in what can only be described as one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen in the
These
studio.
unfortunate things you guys don't have to see.
We have a
In the
big
room.
game today. This is huge. If Riley goes ahead 7-4, we are in a real bad
Dire
mess.
strife.
We'd almost need Riley to be absent a few weeks.
Yeah, like our
This game is pretty challenging because you've got to cleanse your palate before you get the whistle out.
yeah, is that what the licking was for?
Yeah, well, that, and I've got to try and remember what the song. So I've got 3 songs here, lads. I've got to remember what the songs are before I start the whistle. Okay, we're going to get things kicked off with this one. Okay.
Here we go.
Broken leg.
Incorrect.
Riley, Bruce Springsteen.
Here we go. Is he gonna get it?
Sorry, I'm filing through every song.
No, you have to guess.
Every song
You have
I
to
know.
Get one in here, mate.
Dancing in the Dark, Bruce Springsteen.
Well done.
Yeah, it took a while, but we got
Junior
there.
Boy is on the board. Joe, you now need to get the next two.
Is the best of three?
It's a best of three.
Wow. 1 to win for Riley. Which means this will be like my 5th win in a row, I think.
Blimey.
If I get this.
Blimey.
The game's still alive.
So
Could go either.
we're running out of months to catch him. All right, that is number one. Okay, are we ready for number two?
Always.
Oh, I forgot to mention
Here we go.
Oh,
The theme-
he's doing words.
the themed edition. I'll mention the themed edition afterwards. That's what I'll do.
Okay. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Extra points if you get to guess the thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
I like that.
If it's a tie break, we guess the thing.
Nice. It won't be a tie.
Of course. Opportunity, Pete Murray.
Ooh.
Good thing you accidentally played that one and not the next one.
If you're going to make an error, make it calculated. Well done, Joey.
The theme songs Jake likes. This is always the theme.
Or is it songs we played in the first show?
Oh, potentially.
Could be.
Could be.
There's like 18 more songs
Yeah.
to choose from. Should I get the Google Doc up?
This is the last one. Whoever gets this wins the game. Here we go. Well, you got to cleanse the palate. I
Yeah,
just had a song in
Cleansing.
my head. It's like you got to let one ear
He's
out.
tapping it out.
Hope it falls out of your
See
head.
the
Okay.
notes. Oh.
Why is there such a
So many
pause?
pauses.
Okay, well, there's not heaps more to the song.
Maybe a different bit of the song.
Let's go back to the chorus.
I know it.
Riley, the boys back in town. Didn't listen.
Massive. Congratulations, Junior Boy. The whistling's good. The fact that we get 3 out of 3, like people get guesses in and they get them correct. It's very rare there's an incorrect guess thrown either.
You just gotta wait till you get it.
You knew it?
Yeah, I was like getting there. You know, you like know it, but you don't know it.
This was the first song we played.
It is indeed. Congrats, Junior Boy. Fun with some nights. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. Jake, Joe, and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway.
I've got a feel-good story.
Hit us with
for
it,
us.
Joey.
That's right.
Let's
it's not
go.
all drip and drab. It's not all
It's not all
Jake
blokes.
licking his lips and Riley dangling
And blokes hanging from
heroes
bridges.
No, I've got a good story about some unexpected virality. That's right.
Ooh.
And no, it's not the rash I've been working on for the past couple weeks. Because that would not be a feel-good story. That would be a feel-itchy story. Yes, this happened in Sydney.
Oh.
It's a rare story of Sydney working together with none other than China. Our dear friends, our dear friends and listeners over in China.
We love China.
This one, this one is for you. He's not a big fan of them,
he's
but
not.
we are a big fan of
Obviously.
them over at China. And
Fan
this
of everybody.
this blew up when there was a Chinese vlogger.
Oh, a vlogger. A video
talking
blogger.
to a lovely old lady on the train.
Nice.
Just a simple question. What is your favourite cake in Sydney?
What is your
Nice.
favourite cake in Sydney?
And she replies with this particular cake made at, it's called De Plucy Pralin and Otello.
You've done very well there. That is exceptional.
The
There
Pluth.
we are, yeah. Long name,
AKA?
potentially not great for SEO, but if you are looking for it, you will find it. And he makes this little cake that has these lorikeets on it.
Oh.
I believe they're lorikeets.
The big
yes.
keat.
As long as they're on
These
it, not in
birds,
it,
they
that's
look
the
good.
key.
She says, okay, this is my favourite cake.
Oh, that's sweet. It's like a powdery sort of.
Powdery meringue sort of chocolate cake with
Yeah.
hazelnut. It's basically got everything you need,
And there's a couple
except gluten.
birds. And there's a couple birds on the top.
There's a couple birds. It's a lovely little pattern. Anyway, she tells this guy, Oh, she tells the vlogger, I love this cake. Next thing you know, that cake shop, they used to sell 100 of them a week. Now they're doing 150 a day.
Wow.
And
Are
the
they
guy...
that good? How can they be that
They
good?
look good, and I guess they are pretty good because there's not like a huge backlash of people saying these cakes are not it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul Adam, he's the guy who's in charge of making the cakes, and he says,
Uptick.
he goes, me personally, it's just a cake. We have a lot of good things as well. But yeah, they're making 150 of these cakes a day to the point where customers are coming in, mainly
What to ask about the cake?
Chinese tourists. Yeah, they have a line. The next day they had a line. And he was like,
What is happening?
video
what is
blogger?
going on? Yeah.
Who is this video blogger? Does this
Their
person-
name is Max Lee. So they're big on like Red Note and those like like the Chinese version of our apps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's massive. Good on them.
There you go.
Do they like community radio?
Potentially, yeah.
Because I
potentially they
reckon we
could.
might have a show for them.
Let's get Radio Free on Red Note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could bake heaps of cakes. There's 3 of us here. We could do at least 2
cake a
cakes. Yeah, cake a break.
Cake is break. I like that. Yeah, but anyway, this guy, he doesn't let go into his head. He's even said over Easter,
Yeah.
he says to this vlogger, tell your fans we're not doing the cake.
Oh, what?
Because we've got to serve our community
Oh,
their Easter cakes. We
hasn't
don't
let
have
it get
time
to
to
his
make
head.
150 cakes for these tourists.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
fair.
people are flying,
Not a good
obviously,
business,
from
man.
China.
Flying from China for the cake.
Yeah, one person said the cake and the Easter Royal show, which I'm sure one of those things will be disappointing.
I'd say both.
Yeah, but she said that was part of the reason why she chose to go to Sydney. So, like,
We got a
Opera
price
House.
We got a price point on the cake.
Ooh.
Surely it's a lot
I
more
don't
than
know.
it was 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, is demand increased that much?
I don't know how much it is. Maybe I'll get back to you
It's like,
after the
surely
break.
They probably wouldn't have enough ingredients to make the cake.
Or staff. Like what?
Yeah, the people are just on cake duty.
Yeah.
They are whipping them out.
Literally.
But yeah, it's the power of social media. It's the power of Red Night.
That's it.
So we're asking when has something gone viral, but the people weren't expecting it.
And we want like viral on the web because viral stuff that you're not expecting in the below the belt region. We'll let that one sit for today. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9.
Please don't go away.
Thank you, Jack. Upside down, you're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Freo 107.9. Jake Joe, Junior Boy, in the studio to get your weekend underway. And we're currently chatting about things that went viral. Internet sensations gone mad.
I think this song is too chill for Jake. He's become the chill version of himself.
His feet are on the desk.
Yeah.
He's in a hammock for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did you get that from?
Yes, we were talking about the Do, Plussy, Praline, and Otello
Whoa,
cake.
when none of that was English.
No,
None
Do,
of-
Plussy, Praline, and Otello. That's the name of the shop. It's the name.
You did it perfectly the first time,
said it
and you have
exactly the same
absolutely
words.
rolled the Hyundai gets on the second attempt.
Duplessis.
So we were, Do, Plussy, Praline, and Otello.
Is that like Italian?
I have no idea.
French patisserie?
Oui,
I have no idea.
French patisserie?
It's from Sydney.
But we're
It's whatever
talking
they speak
about-
over there.
But we're also talking about Chinese people because they love the cakes they're making. Right?
yeah, yeah.
They're all flying over from China.
Yeah.
They are. That is
And
correct.
you asked how much is a cake. I'm just doing a bit of an update, and apparently I'm getting harassed for it, even though I said I'll follow it up after the break. I'm now doing that.
Yeah.
So for a large, it's $75.
I'm going to shirt front you.
Boys, do I have to get out of the hammock?
So large is 75, medium 68, small 58, extra small 50.
We don't
You gotta
need-
get
Wait,
the
you said
large.
$58 for a cake?
I said 75 originally.
Kidding me?
$75 for a cake.
That's normal.
What
like a
the-
fancy one.
what
You've
is it-
flown in from China.
How big is it? A meter?
What does it do to
It
you?
says large. Apparently it's good.
There's real birds in
Are
there.
you meant to eat it?
You meant to eat it. Yeah. Gluten free.
What the? $75 for a cake.
That is
What?
crazy.
Cakes are expensive.
How much was my cheesecake for my birthday this week?
Could have been like $50.
No way! If it was $50, take that thing back.
Happy birthday, by the way. Subtle way
Yeah.
to get that on air.
crazy.
We're chatting about viralness. We need some examples of some good viral things that have taken over.
Overpriced goods.
I'm going to go with, and this will throw it back. Riley would have been 9 at the time because his birthday is in 2003, so you can play along and work out exactly how old he turned during the week.
Yeah.
Coney 2012, baby.
Coney 2012.
Bring back Coney 2012.
That was viral.
Who's Coney?
Yeah, no one's really
Joseph
sure.
Coney.
The cone.
Yes, he was a Ugandan war guy.
Yeah.
And he was using... Heavily
Heavily.
using children in the army.
Ooh,
But again, the
Which
bloke
is a
who
no-no.
came out and did it all, there was he had a few misdemeanors shortly after that
Yeah.
all went to air. So we're not sure if he was of sound body and mind.
I remember this little bulldog.
It
was a big deal.
He was a crazy little
It
wildcat.
was huge. It was huge for 2 weeks,
2 weeks,
I reckon.
yeah.
Massive. And haven't heard of it since.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He's still at large. Another one is things that, I was sort of thinking things that they didn't want to be viral.
Okay.
Obviously, Coney. They wanted that to be, I mean...
Oh, I don't think Coney
Coney himself didn't.
Imagine Coney one day woke up and was like, "You're kidding me? What?"
They know about this? Oh, no. Oh, no. So Suits is one that during the COVID pandemic, Suits blew up. It was the most watched show on Netflix,
Wow.
despite ending a couple of years beforehand.
Yeah, right.
Oh, what?
Another one is that song from Stranger Things, "Running Up That Hill" by Kate Bush.
Yeah, the
Kate Bush just whatever Stranger Things used my song. Whatever.
George's daughter.
George
Bush.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I thought you were doing a bit of Ken Stans again. I had no idea what you were talking about. Yeah, "Running Up That Hill." It's just a song that suddenly all the kids listen to. It goes viral on TikTok, and suddenly everyone's Bush heads.
Yeah.
Everyone is loving "Running Up That Hill."
Bush.
Everyone's bushy.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, with the viral stuff going on.
Yes, but I think just random food seems to be the go.
Damn, Daniel used to be.
Damn, Daniel.
You gotta say it with the throat. Damn, Daniel.
Back at it again.
What's Daniel doing these days? You couldn't continue to live a life like that, I don't think.
No, you'd have to change your name. And even the damn Daniel guy, he was just walking around in his white vans.
Yeah.
he
That
was.
poor guy.
Poor Dan.
He was being bullied
For his kicks.
by the breathy voiced man out of shot.
Damn, Daniel.
And he went to Ellen, and
Went to Ellen.
that's where all good things go to die.
Well, that's the thing. Now there is no Ellen show.
yeah.
How do we know it's viral anymore?
So the trends are going for
How do
too
we-
long.
how do-
Ellen was the
Yes.
full stop on a trend.
Yeah. You've made it to the main
Yeah,
stream.
and then she would, take your energy.
My favourite over the journey, though, would have to be that skateboard guy who was getting on the skateboard and he was drinking that
Yes,
raspberry
Dreams,
cordial.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, during COVID. That was all time. The sales of those drinks, is it raspberry? What was it?
Raspberry.
No, it wasn't. It was
Who
like
knows?
cranberry juice. or something.
Cranberry juice.
He went absolutely off. I don't know if he got a brand deal out of it or what, but he should have.
You definitely should have.
Skateboards, we didn't hear as much
No
of
one's
research.
skateboard sales.
Ricky Lee with Can't Touch It. You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. Boys, it's just about end of our show today. It's just about the end of our show. Before we hand over to the team at World Football, very exciting.
The best to have done it.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
What is happening?
Okay, wait a minute.
What is happening? What is happening?
I can see the planes coming over the horizon.
Oh, my goodness. I've just been handed a sheet.
Oh.
I've been handed a sheet. What does this...
Oh, the sheet's coming across.
The sheet's getting scrumpled up.
Oh, no, I can't read the sheet. Can you guys...
unscrumbled.
Hang on. We got... what's this one?
Aussie car lovers, it's on today, Easter Saturday. The FEFC Holden Nationals at Visco Park, next to Coburn Bowling Club. It's a free community event. Check out the Facebook at Holden Nationals 2025. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. today.
So I just needed to get that out. I'm sorry.
What
boys.
came over
I
you?
needed to get that
No
out.
wonder there
Riley's
was...
eyes rolled to the back of his head as he read out that.
And I pulled out my electric guitar.
He
Was that a
read
familiar...
it.
That's a very familiar voice. Did you recognise that voice?
It was none other than Riley McKenna,
Oh
my
my
dearest
God.
brother.
Holden car lovers. What are you doing? Get down to
there.
Visco Park.
Just near the
Absolutely.
bowling club.
Near Coburn Bowling Club.
Riley will be there picking up his check from the cashier you just did. Very exciting.
Get down if you're not doing anything on this lovely Saturday and you're driving a Holden. All Holdens welcome. Vintage ones preferred.
Yeah.
But if you're driving a V8, get down there.
Love it. Did you get approached?
I'm his manager. I set that up.
You did actually set that up.
Right.
Joey.
Congratulations. Joey makes a bit of
And
commish.
it was pro bono.
Oh.
Pro bono.
Don't talk about his bono on air. I wouldn't have thought.
I love it. Riley, he's a professional voice actor.
Visco Park.
He is.
And
He's
he,
dominating.
what would you call that character you were doing?
Holden user.
Yeah. The person who drives Holden.
Person who's excited about Holden Club.
Maybe we'll call that person like Staffy.
Staffy. I like it.
That's the character, Staffy.
Staffy.
You don't know why he's called Staffy. He just has been
Yeah.
since birth. He has one eye,
Because it
One
was taken
arm.
out by a Staffy.
but he's just yeah.
Disco Park. See you down there.
Got it in one. The World Football Team coming in next. We've got one more break to go, boys. Do you see what I see? You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free. Hunters and collectors, do you see what I see? You're listening to the Mac Back on Radio Free 107.9. Jake, Joe, and Junior Boy in the studio to get your weekend underway. What have we got planned for the rest of the day, lads, before we throw over to the team? All the football.
I hear you boys are going to play a bit of a round of 9 holes, eh?
Oh, we are. We've got a bit of golf going on this afternoon. You've decided you don't want to play. You must be doing another cashy for the team at Holden.
Yeah, I'll be down at
Disco Park. Me and Staffy hanging out.
Yeah, it should be good. Joey hasn't played. Joey, yeah, when was the last time you got out for a round? Would have been with me.
It's been a hot minute for Joel.
But
But yeah, I'll be going out there, and I'm gonna go for par.
where are you playing?
Have a crack at par.
Where are you playing?
Down at the Springs course out in Armidale, mate.
Oh, the Arms.
Yes.
The Dale.
The
The Dale.
The Dalesford.
Hell yeah.
Should be good fun. Joey's pretty good. The only issue is
Hole in one good?
between
Yeah, occasionally.
stints is the break. So he gets really good, and then he takes
Yeah,
11 to
Yeah,
12
usually the
months
ninth
off.
hole I am in raring form.
And then he goes, I'll see you guys back here and this time next year.
The annual April game he has.
Yes, of course.
What about yourself, Junior Boy? What are you up to?
Just beers, footy. Yeah, footy!
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, no.
When was the last time you got out for a game of golf, mate?
December 26th it was. Boxing Day.
Oh, this year? Last year?
Last year.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah. Remember? We played together at the old Walter. Me.
Oh, we did too. Yes. Yeah. Great shout. Great shout. We do have
Any hole in ones?
Yeah. I got like 3 or 4.
Three, wow.
Obviously.
3 or 4 hole ones.
Yeah, but the game, it just went too quick. But I was like, oh.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to get in the bush. You know?
Yeah. Just make it last
Get
a
it
bit
in
longer.
the.
Yeah, I'll just head into a tree, and I was like, well, then I'll have a longer time hanging out with my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
what
like
you-
I'll spend an hour in a bunker. Just to get that out.
So it's intense.
Just to get
down,
just to get the quality time.
Yeah, I sometimes even I'll be in the bunker so long that I need to bring a tent. But I will get out, and I never rake it up. I don't do that.
Never
It's
why?
sand.
You leave the tent there.
Why are we raking it up? It's sand.
Yeah, it's not going to.
We're not making it easy for the next guy. I've had to battle the sand for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not making it easy for the next guy.
Now the ball lands on my Nike shoe mark.
Yeah, sometimes I'll bring a shovel and make my own bunker.
on the green.
Yeah, the green, yeah. I'll make the hole a bit bigger. I'll go down ahead of time and just sort of shovel around the hole. I love golf.
Hole in one, holes in one.
Yeah, the whole green. It's just it's more of a crater situation.
That would be fun. That'd be like easy mode.
Yeah.
Easy mode golf. Yeah, hole in ones all around, you know? I still wouldn't get it though.
Yeah. No,
No matter how big the hole
it's in the
is.
pond.
Yeah.
Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Until we do this time next week, stay safe. Happy Easter, everyone, as well. Happy Easter.
Yes.
Happy Easter to you too.
Thanks.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
it's Java now, but enough forever. Thank you so much for listening to yet another week of us on Radio Fremantle, or 107.9.
As you heard, there's a lot of participation
Or participation.
from the listeners. So if you want to get involved with the show next week or any week after that, make sure you listen in live and hit us up on the Instagram DMs.
Slide into them DMs.
Yes, and if you want to listen to the show with all the music as well, tune in at 107.9, 8 to 10 every Saturday.
G'day, guys. Hope you're enjoying the podcast.
As always.
We're about to be enjoying the podcast anyway. Yeah. If you are enjoying the pod, make sure to send it to a friend. And excitingly, there's a brand new feature
New feature alert.
on Spotify, which is that little feedback box.
The box.
on,
We love a little box.
settle. And on the on each of the episodes, you can plug away a bit of feedback for the show. So you can literally say, specifically, basically, give us some feedback specific to the show that you just listened to, the episode you just listened to. No matter what episode you're up to, ping us in that feedback, and then you can, that feedback will then feature for other people who are catching up or they're listening to the episodes. They will see that as well. And most importantly, we like to see it. So if you can share it with your friends and write a few little words in the box, it would mean the absolute world to us.